Yo. Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. Marino the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squash the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.
What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I am your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning. It's getting close, folks. It's getting close. We're almost to the season. Super stoked, but we still have the Miami Dolphins still have some areas of need that are super concerning. The Miami Dolphins need to make some roster moves. Final cuts they'll be here before we know it. What's it, tomorrow, I think? Tomorrow, do they got to cut down? Is tomorrow the cut down day? But the off season is over, and after the performance against the Jacksonville Jaguars, it's abundantly clear that this offensive line needs help. Larry Borum should not be on this football team. He doesn't even deserve to be a backup. He doesn't even deserve to be our backup swing tackle. And it's super concerning that the Miami Dolphins, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news or be the one I don't want to put bad mojo on this football team. But what if Patrick Paul goes down? You know what I mean? What if we have no depth? Even Liam Eichenberg isn't going to be available. There's a chance he gets put on IR before the season starts. This offensive line is not good enough, and it showed up in Miami against the Jaguars. The Jaguars are playing their second, third string players, yet they're sacking our starting quarterback. That's unacceptable. They're sacking our starting quarterback. Our starting offense against second and third string players is going 3-and-out because of an incompetent offensive line. Now, I know Waddle barely played and Tyreek barely played, and that's a huge deal. Hands out. We didn't go out and run the football those first couple drives. So, I mean, Tyreek's going to make a huge difference. Waddle being in there is going to make a huge difference. When's Achane going to be available? And that's the title of this video. Obviously, there's more pressing needs than running back. There's definitely more pressing needs than running back. But we almost had a scare in that Jacksonville game with Ollie Gordon, right? We all seen the hit. Ollie Gordon got up and was favoring his knee for a second. But Chris Greer needs to do something. Now, you know, there's some crazy amount of players that get released. But the percentage of players that are released compared to the percentage of players that are picked up is very small. So don't think that, you know, I think we all got these high hopes that, oh, there's going to be a bunch of releases, which there will be from each team. But don't be naive to the fact that, you know, we're not going to find a bunch of players and when final cuts come. A very small percentage of these guys that get cut get signed to other teams. It just is what it is. You think Achane starts week 1? Glenn, that scares me, though, because that calf injury could so very easily turn into an Achilles. I like Boone unless it's a surprise name cut. I don't want to go after running back. I want lineman. Boone, another guy, ran hard. Listen, and if that's what the direction you want to go in, and I'm not saying that we should trade for a running back, but I think there's a few running backs that could be available that could fill in nicely if Achane's got to go on injury reserve. Because that's not off the table. I'd rather lose Achane for 4 games than to lose him for the whole season. Especially at the beginning of the season. That's right, Elwood. 1,100 players were released last year. 22 were claimed. Now, you know, where a lot of those players were signed on after. So you don't got to put in a waiver claim. So that number is a little misleading. Achane is too small to be the number 1 workhorse. Yeah, I mean, you got to find a way to still get. Yeah, is he too small to be a true number 1? I give you that. He's not a pound and ground player, but Achane is so special with the ball in his hands. You got to figure out a way to still get him starter touches. You understand what I'm saying, Joe? Even though he might not be that prototypical run between the tackles type running back, he's so talented that you got to still get him starter touches. Listen, Irving, a player doesn't got to be injury prone to suffer an injury. You know what I mean? I'm just saying if something bad were to happen, we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing. I'm not saying that he's serious enough to put on an injury reserve per se. I know them calf injuries can linger, and I don't want to see it turn into something worse. Miller, I would love for them to bring Mostert back. Listen, Mostert had a bad year last year. He did. But I don't know if that's really an option because since Mostert's left, he's been really critical of the team, right? He's been critical of the team. I think Mostert had hurt feelings that they let him go. He feels like he had some decent. His time here in Miami was decent, and he had one bad year, and they let him go. Is he even good anymore? Listen, I think Mostert in the right situation can still produce. I mean, Glenn, he was phenomenal in 2023. Did he have a bad 2024? He did. He did. But he knows the offense, right? He knows the offense. And this late in the season, or this late in the off season, you know. What up, Finspin? What up? Michael, you're talking about Chris Brooks. I don't think Chris Brooks gets cut. Hopefully we don't, Jalen Wright's not ready. I don't think Jalen Wright's going to be ready for week 1. And Jalen Wright hasn't been very good. Let's not pretend he has. Achane is not completely healthy. So I think you absolutely need to add a running back. I mean, Miller, he's 1 year removed, really. I mean, 23, he set the franchise record. The year 24, this is 25, right? Glenn says Wright will start on injury reserve. What up, Anthony? Countdown is on. Fins, absolutely. I'm super stoked. And for all them people that out there that give Indianapolis a chance to beat the Miami Dolphins, I don't see it. Obviously, we can't start out like we started against the Jaguars, but I think we're a more talented team than Indianapolis. And I think week 1 should be we should be starting off on the right foot. I know Jim Irsay, they're going to put him in the Ring of Honor, this and that, blase, blase, blah. Big C, you don't know how healthy HN is. You don't know how unhealthy he is, right? I know that HN, is a smaller back that depends on athleticism. I know what can happen to a calf injury. We're not healthy, Big C. Again, a few days ago, our starting right tackle was in a walking boot. Is he seriously going to be ready for week 1? Is he seriously going to be ready for week 1? I know Mike McDaniel says, yeah, he's on pace for week 1, but if you're still in a walking boot at this time, with the season's 2 weeks away, I have to question it, right? What up, Joe R? We need Austin Jackson to be ready week 1. Is Tyreek gonna be healthy week 1? I'd like to. And that's true. He can be completely healthy and get hurt first game back. No, I don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that hypothetically, and a healthy guy that's been healthy the whole year is going to get hurt. I want to talk about guys that are currently dealing with injuries. I'm sure they'll probably start cuts today, Joe. Surprise cuts. Anybody got some surprise cuts? Yeah, my one surprise cut is probably going to be, and I'm not positive he gets cut, but all indications from my point of view is Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton. He's got 0 run with the starters, right? He's barely gotten any play at all. And I don't understand it. With a team that, yeah, I understand going with the youth movement, but is Mike Hilton really that bad that he can't beat out a player that's never even really played slot corner before? Cam Smith came on the last 2 weeks of camp. Is it enough to save his spot? Is it enough to save his job? I think Ethan Bonner's probably going on IR. What corners make this football team? I understand the mystery around Mike Hilton, but I think they're just saving him for the regular season. They already know what he is. And yeah, that's what they had said, right? That's what they had said. Bonnie says they really like Marshall at the slot. And he's been impressive. He's been impressive there. But Mike Hilton was a quality player. I just find it hard to believe that he couldn't beat out, a player that has never really played the nickel position. You couldn't beat Marshall out. And maybe it just is they know what they got. They're not risking him getting hurt. And Mike Hilton is the starting slot week 1. Cam Smith is like Bigfoot. He rarely spotted, but he is real. Tyndall has no chance of making this team. Zero. We're too deep. We're too deep. Little too late for Tyndall. He's had his shot. Seems like we have nothing but slot receivers and cornerbacks. Yeah, Easy E's gone too. Asante does have an outside shot. He's just super athletic, a very good special teams player. But I don't think he makes the team neither. You got a lot of players that are on that fringe that we would like to keep, right? That we would like to keep. There's just not enough room. Dickerson, defensive tackle. He's been fantastic. You want to sneak him onto the practice squad. Does he make it there? We'll see. And 8 think the same can be said for Smith. It's possible. Smith is super. Smith has got super lucky that we've suffered so many injuries at the corner position. He's lucky Cater Co, who went down. He's lucky Ethan Bonner went down. He's lucky Artie Burns went down. Or Cam Smith would be cut. Ryan Hayes is bad too. Cut Zach Wilson or trade him to Raiders, sign Jameis. You're obsessed with Jameis. Joe R said, Miller, wouldn't the Raiders just want Jameis? It looks like Greer has reversed course on a lot of bad habits this last offseason. I don't think Cam being a pick saves him just for that sake this time. Biggers got the opportunity to make the 53. I truly believe that. Now, Dickerson's outplayed Biggers. But I think they would rather keep Biggers than Dickerson. I'll take the bad young guy over the bad veteran. Miller says, shh, Joe, don't let them know that. All right, let's go over 5 running backs the Miami Dolphins could trade for. All these guys, you're not giving up anything more than a day 3 pick. A day 3 pick at the most. I want to try the Saints game, Joe. I really do. I want to do the Saints game, I think. Biggers is a field goal blocking machine, too, and can change any game, anytime. And what's the deal? Listen, what's the deal with Jason Sanders? That's a big deal. Now, if Jason Sanders can't go, hear me out. And I know he had a bad year last year. But do we call Justin Tucker? Yeah, I know Justin Tucker's got a little Deshaun Watson thing going on. But Justin Tucker is he might be one of the best field goal kickers of all time. Yeah, I don't always trust what Mike McDaniel says. Tucker is again not available. He's getting a massage today. I mean, Joe, that's Elijah Mitchell is a good back. I've always liked Jeff Wilson Jr. Tucker's out 10 games. He got suspended. Justin Tucker. That was a good one, Joe R. Justin Tucker. That was a good one. That was a good one. Justin Tucker. But let's jump into this video. Listen, do I think we should trade for any of these guys? The last one, I like the idea. The last one on this list, I really do like the idea because I think he can be I think he still has a lot of potential to be a great weapon in this league. But let's get into this list. And they're in no particular order. They're not in an order that I think we should sign them in or or trade for him and blah, blah, blah. First one up, Dameon Pierce. He's a fourth-year back. He rushed for 939 yards as a rookie. Year 2, he struggled, rushing for only 416 yards, 2.9 yards per carry. Last year, he struggled to get on the field, rushing for just 293 yards on 40 carries, but he did average 3.3 yards a carry. Added 2 touchdowns last year. Now, listen, this kid, he's not a bad football player, but on this team, he's behind Joe Mixon. He's behind Chubb. He's not going to have a lot of opportunities. I think you could get him cheap. If he has a good year, you know, you don't have to sign him to a huge contract. Shoot, you might be able to get Dameon Pierce with an exchange of picks, right? You might send them a 6th and they send you a 7th and Dameon Pierce. You know what I mean? Elwood said he's a slow-it guy. I would bring Raheem Mostert back. I love Raheem Mostert. I would. I just don't know if he was really critical of the franchise with the Jonnu Smith trade and said some things. You know, he could be cut, Glenn, but sometimes you go and you get ahead of those cuts. Sometimes you go and get ahead of those cuts. I don't take, listen, me personally, and if you've watched this channel any amount of time, 6th, 7th round picks, I'm not super huge on. Now, if we continue the draft like we did this year, I might change my opinion on that because we found a lot of late round gems this year. Joe R said, I think the ship sailed on Mostert. Yeah, I think after he badmouthed the team, I think it's a wrap. So you got Pierce. I think he could be a nice fill-in piece, even after everybody gets healthy. I think he could be better than Jalen Wright. You know what I mean? So if you got Achane, you got Ollie Gordon II, Dameon Pierce is a nice third running back. Now, I'm not saying I'm giving up on Jalen Wright completely, but there's something wrong there, and he's got to get it figured out because he just hasn't been playing good this offseason. Next guy up that I would consider trading for, Devin Singletary, New York Giants. He's undersized, very shifty, 5'7", 203 pounds. He's 27 years old. He's a 6-year vet. He had a down year for the Giants, averaging only 3.9 yards a carry last year with limited touches. He had limited opportunities last year because Tyrone Tracy Jr. came on strong for the Giants. He's got 2 years left on a 3-year deal that's not paying him huge money. Again, another guy you could get for probably a 6th, 7th round pick. He's had a pretty good career, and his numbers are pretty good considering he's never really gotten true number 1 running back carries. And that's because he's 5'7", 203 pounds, though, right? But look at the stats. With Buffalo, 12 games, he had 775 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. 2020, 687 yards. 21, 870. 2022, 819. 23, 898, and then last year only 113 attempts, 437 yards. But look down here, folks. He can be a weapon in the receiving game too. He can catch the ball out the backfield. So really, he's kind of like a poor man Devon Achane, in my opinion. He'd be a nice fill-in for Achane if Achane's got to miss any time. I like Raheem Sanders a lot too, brother. I like Raheem Sanders a lot too. Now, again, I'm not saying we should necessarily trade for one of these guys, but I wouldn't be completely upset. See, hopefully, I think they're trying to compete. You don't think they're trying to compete? You don't think they're trying to win? I don't think it's just an evaluation year. I disagree with that. He's a Bill. That means he's trashed. Kamara is still playing. But again, I think Singletary could help this team if Achane's got to miss any extended time part of the season. Next on this list, and I like this guy a lot. I think he's got great potential. You got Kenneth Walker from the Saints, or from the Seahawks. He's 5'9", 210. He runs with a good intensity, right? He kind of runs violently. There's a lot of changes in Seattle. Walker could be the next move. Walker's back up, third year. Zach Cabernet had a really strong season last year and can potentially overtake Walker on the depth chart. Walker has missed significant time in training camp this year, and Mike McDonald said that it was crucial that the running backs were here to get reps. And since Walker missed so much time, he could be had. Walker going into his fourth season dealt with injuries, but he's been very good when on the field. I like Walker a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential. He ran for over 1,000 yards as a rookie, had 9 touchdowns. His second year, with only 219 carries, ran the ball for 905 yards, 8 touchdowns. And then even last year, dealing with some injuries, 573 yards on 158 carries, still got in the end zone 7 times. And he catches the ball out the backfield pretty good too. So I like Walker a lot. I like Kenneth Walker a lot. He's probably number 2 as far as players on this list, in my opinion. I think he's got a lot of potential. We need to stay away from Wilson Jr. I don't know if Wilson Jr. would necessarily come back. I think he feels the Dolphins did him kind of dirty. Not to mention, there were opportunities to get Zach Wilson on the field, and Miami never pulled the trigger. This is not an evaluation year, Glenn says. This is a year where people keep their jobs or get fired. Yeah, I mean, that's what in reality, Glenn, that's what it's supposed to be. We'll see if that happens to be the case. But Kenneth Walker has a lot of talent. This next guy on the list, he's kind of he's probably the lowest on my board, and he probably gets released, honestly. So you don't even got to trade for this guy. Samar White. He's 25, 5'11", 207. 227 pounds. He's a 2022 fourth rounder. Again, struggled with injuries last year. His numbers aren't overly impressive, but I think he's got a nice skill set. As a rookie, he only carried the ball 17 times, 104 times the second year. Last year, he only played in 8 games, 65 carries, 2.9 yards a carry. That's terrible. But I think the guy's got potential. He's a guy that, given the right situation, I think he could produce. Hold on, I got to get a battery real quick. Sorry about that, folks. Okay. Now we got some power. Yeah, so he's probably the bottom of my list, honestly. I don't know if I'd necessarily give up a draft pick for this guy. And then number one guy that I would consider trading for, and I think he's got great potential. Hilton got released. See? Breaking news, Hilton got released. Yeah, I would bring Kendall Lamb back if he doesn't make Eagles 53. Absolutely. So that's crazy that Hilton couldn't make this football team, right? He was supposed to be one of the top corners available, right? I mean, he was strictly a nickel, but I mean, the writing was on the wall. Jason Marshall Jr., the writing was on the wall when they brought Marshall Jr. in. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. Kenneth Gainwell. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. So Jason Marshall, they're going with the rookie starting at nickel. We just waived and cut both backs, so we're definitely getting another running back. That casual fan, Michael K, when I said, final cuts, he's like, there's only one cut day. Well, cut day is tomorrow, but they're making cuts today, right? And number one on my list is a player that we just seen in joint practices is Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne. This guy's got a lot of potential. The Jags got a new head coach and Liam Crone. Tank Bigsby has clearly taken over the running back one for the Jags. Etienne is heading into a contract year, so Jacksonville might be looking to move off of him. After a poor 2024 season where he only rushed for 558 yards and 2 touchdowns, GM James Gladstone could look to recoup a pick from his draft day splash for Travis Hunter. He could look to recoup some of that draft capital that he gave up for Travis Hunter. They're going with Tank Bigsby. Travis Etienne's got a lot of potential, not just as a runner, but as a receiver. Travis Etienne is 26 years old, 5'10", 216 pounds. So he can run with strength, with some power, but he's got great speed too, a 4.4 guy. He catches the ball really well out the backfield. As a rookie, he ran for 1,125 yards. I thought he was going to be a star, to be honest. After his rookie year, I thought he was going to be a star. So his first year out of Clemson, 1,125 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had another 35 catches for 316 yards. His sophomore season, he had 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, only on 267 carries. He had 58 receptions, 476 yards, and a touchdown. Last year, he dealt with a few injuries, and then Tank Bigsby just came out of nowhere and played phenomenal. 8 into his touches. So he only had 558 yards, 2 touchdowns. Added another 39 catches for 254 yards. I think he's got a lot in the tank. I think this kid could still be really good. I think he might cost you a 5th rounder. He might cost you a 5th rounder, but he's a player that I would absolutely pull the trigger on. And to be honest, I think he could challenge for the number 1 running back spot. Jose says Etienne would be running back 1 here. Listen, I don't disagree that Etienne could challenge for the running back 1 spot. I mean, see, hopefully we can have a difference of opinions, right? I think the kid's super talented. Jackson Carman gone too. Let's see if we can get the list of cuts up. Let me see. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Sweet dreams are made of these. Disagree. Oh, full screen. All right, let's go back so I can see. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, Aaron Champlin cut, Mike Hilton. Hilton was Miami's most established cornerback, but the team is going with younger players. Hilton is 31 years old. Rookie Jason Marshall of Florida started in the slot for the Dolphins in the last game. Some Dolphins cornerbacks on the bubble include Ethan Bonner, who has been injured, Isaiah Johnson, and Cameron Ditzler. I think that helps Cam Smith's chances of making the football team right there. I think that almost guarantees Cam Smith makes this football team. No, Blake, we didn't. We're talking hypothetically. Hypothetically. That's all the cuts. Huh. Okay. Okay. Who else? Okay, nothing on this page. Trying to find some more information. Let's see. Sweet dreams are made of these. Did Shador Sanders get cut? Did Shador Sanders get cut? The Falcons released cornerback C.J. Henderson. Huntley was cut. I could have swore that said Shador was cut. I don't know. I want to jump out the window. I mean, let's not go crazy. Let's not go crazy. We got. Do I think Ali Gordon is a good back? I do. But he's not Adrian Peterson. He's not Derrick Henry. Yeah, everyone's forgetting about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's got to make that football team. Right? There's no way that they cut Shador or Deshaun Watson, right? Yeah, Shiloh Sanders was cut. I could have swore it said Shador was cut. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. Maybe I'm reading it wrong. Oh shit. Stop. It says notable NFL roster cut candidates. Browns quarterback Shador candidates. The Browns have long said they're going to keep 4 quarterbacks on their roster, but Sanders is, after all, a 5th-round pick, day 3 pick, and no guarantee to make it. Plus, fellow rookie Dylan Gabriel has outplayed Sanders this preseason and gotten reps before Sanders in practice. There's also veteran Kenny Pickett, who didn't take a snap all preseason due to injury, but will almost certainly make the team as well. Sanders probably makes it, but the chances of a cut are not. All right. You guys are right. You're right. You're right. So yeah, cuts have started. Mike Hilton, surprise cut, kind of. So the Miami Dolphins definitely need to add a running back. Do we trade for one? Do we just wait and see what's available after waivers? I would have really liked to add Chubb. I think he could have been that power back for us. Listen, Ali Gordon II is a nice piece, but again, let's not jump out the window. Let's not jump out the window. You can't label him as an all-pro already. Let's let him play a regular season game first, right? Down to one healthy running back, yeah. Frank Gore Jr., I think there's better available. Collins got cut. Do we start that drama again? Laugh out loud. I mean, I thought we should have brought him here in the first place, right? But obviously, he's not the player that he used to be. Yeah, Jose, I mean, I don't think giving up a 7th round pick to get a quality RB2 is too much to ask, but I mean, to each their own. There should be some decent ones available. Collins was only in Dallas a couple weeks, and their line is in shambles. I'm tired of this heat and humidity, y'all. You live in the wrong part of the world, my brother. You live in the wrong part of the world. So yeah, roster cuts will continue throughout the day. I don't think there's going to be any really surprise ones. I think Mike Hilton is the biggest surprise. I'm curious to see what players other teams release, right? Because we have openings that need to be filled immediately. So hopefully a starting caliber corner gets cut and we can swoop in and grab them. I think we're 10th on the waiver wire list. Or wait, 13th on the waiver wire list? Does it go in order that we drafted? Listen, Elwood, I said Jordan Phillips, and I don't want to pull a Reason right now because Reason, that's the main thing. That's my main beef with Reason, is that Reason always, I'm the greatest. You heard it here first. That's my only problem with that guy. Like, he puts out great content. Like, he's very knowledgeable about the game of football. Just, bro, you don't got to put everybody down to boost yourself up. But again, I've been saying since day one that Jordan Phillips was going to be a beast. I thought Jordan Phillips had the potential to be the best pick of this draft. I think Jordan Phillips has the real potential to be the best pick of this draft. Eventually. He's super young, super athletic, super strong. He's a power lifter, former wrestler, great technique. I think he's going to be phenomenal. He hasn't even gotten his grown man strength yet. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember being 19, 20 years old, but were you physically strong? Sure. You were becoming a man, but I don't think when you hit that 23, 24, 25, that's when I think you're at your physical prime. You know what I mean? Where you got that real grown man strength. Gotta get that dad strength. Yeah. That dad strength. Just that, you know what I mean? It's different. There's kid strength, there's young man strength, and then there's grown ass man strength. Are you sure he's 21? I'm pretty sure he's younger than Grant. Jordan Phillips, Miami Dolphins. Of course, the other Jordan Phillips pops up, right? Jordan Phillips, Miami Dolphins. How old is Jordan Phillips, rookie for the Miami Dolphins? June 30th, 2004, age 21. All right. Just turned 21. Yep, you're right. Still. I think he gonna be special. I really do. He gonna be special. I really think he is. All right, folks. Tomorrow I gotta work. Tomorrow and Wednesday I gotta work. So I'm gonna be going live earlier. I'm gonna go live at 8. I know that bumps heads with Miss Fins. I apologize about that, but I have no choice. So tomorrow at 8. I'm sorry if that's too early for you guys, but I gotta do what I gotta do. I could make a pre-recorded video and make it go at 10, but I don't get a lot of views on those, so I'd rather just go at 8, talk about the final roster. I'm curious to see what moves we make. Hopefully there's some players that see hopeful tonight. We got the Game Changers channel over on the Game Changers channel. Me and Mike Jones will be live tonight, 8 p.m. What up, Sean? Michael, tonight, Game Changers. Me and Mike Jones going live. I think we're going to do a mock fantasy football draft. Yeah, you know, Joe, Mike Jones. Who? Mike Jones. But yeah, me and Mike Jones do a mock draft tonight, fantasy mock draft. Again, if you guys want to get down on a mock or on a fantasy draft, let me know. I don't do them shits for free, to be honest. So you want to do a $25 league, $50 league, let me know. We can send money to a Cash App, or we can try the all. Can we create a league? And I don't know if you can create a league, and I think you still have to put the money somewhere. We'll figure it out. But if you're interested in a $25 buy-in or a $50 buy-in, let me know tonight or tomorrow morning. Me and Miss Fins, I think, are going to go live tomorrow night at 8. But make sure you check out. Yeah, I mean, what do you want me? I gotta go when I can go. You know what I mean? Me and Mike are talking about changing the hours anyway, because when football starts, we can't compete with Monday Night Football. You know what I mean? So maybe we'll talk about that tonight too. But yeah, you know, them boys go live all the time. Make sure you subscribe to the channels, please. Help me. I haven't had a new subscriber in about 3 weeks. It's crazy. But yeah, Game Changers tonight. Me and Mike Jones doing a fantasy football. We'll talk more cuts too. Hopefully a lot more cuts happen by tonight. But I will see you all later. I love y'all. Remember, tomorrow morning will be 8 a.m. Be there or be square. I appreciate you all. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment, share, and turn on your notifications. Until next time, you know what it is. Fins up, bitch! Peace.
Yo, Big C in the house. You know the name. Fin Posse Podcast. Changing the game. Fins up high. Feel the aqua and orange. Miami Heat blazing. We scorching the floor. We know the tour. We stacking the saga. Legacy deep, call it football nirvana. Big C, break it down, got the stats in his veins. Play-by-play knowledge like he's calling the chains. Fins flying on the field, opponents feel the blast. Tyreek cheetah speed, leaving DBs in the past. Waddle with the wiggle, defense with the clamp. Aqua drip so clean, whole squash the champ. Tune in, Big C, got the mic on lock. Fin Posse Podcast, it's the cream of the crop. Breaking news, hot takes, repping the block. For the Dolphin faithful, it's the one-stop shop. Fin Posse. We the voice of the fans. Miami stand tall, got the world in our hands. Best podcast, yo, ain't no debate. Big C, big vibes, setting it straight. Defense smash, call it Aqua Tsunami. X locking routes like a South Beach Armani. O-line holding strong, trenches like a fortress. Big C dissected, no stack goes dormant.